Alright, so I'm gonna... I don't know how this DLC is accessed. I'm gonna assume that I'll have a... pardon me. That, on the Normandy, I'll just have a new email. So, my autosave is during the last DLC, so... I'll just go back to a save that's on the Normandy. Oh, and I met Celis. I don't know how to pronounce her name. So we did that particular part of the story. Oh, and thanks for the kind words about my Far Cry 3 review. I think that game's rad. So, but I also think Mass Effect 3 is rad. And I feel like it kind of gets a bum rap. Because this is easily one of my top 10 games this year. And I think a fantastic game. So it looks like it's going to start with an email from Aria, good old Aria, that wants to talk about a project that we spoke of when I ran into her in Purgatory. So I guess I got to go to Dock 42 on the Citadel, and Bray will be waiting for me there. So let's do it. Pardon me. Looks like I don't have all the assets in this system, so there we go. It's just gonna be fuel anyway. Whoa! Reapers. Alright, now. Off to the Citadel. So I'm asking if it's top 3 of the year. I don't know if it's one of my personal top 3. In fact, I would say no, it's not one of my personal top 3, but it's definitely in my personal top 10. Whether or not it's an official top 3, I guess you'll have to wait for GameSpot's Game of the Year awards to find out where we stand as a group. This must be the Batarian I need to meet.
The great Commander Shepard. And me without my autograph book.
Oh,
Say,
F you,
just
Bray.
take me to Aria.
Follow me.
So where is she?
Shepard.
Aha, there she is. Doesn't take her long to show up.
Aria. Not romantic.
There are too many eyes and ears in Purgatory.
I assume this is about...
I will say,
Omega.
Omega, my coworker
This is
Carolyn
about
Pettit,
your role,
Omega
Shepard.
is one of her favorite settings
Cerberus
in all of
controlling
the Mass
terminus
Effect
system
universe.
seriously bolsters their mobility. Since taking Omega, they've spread through the galaxy. Surely the Alliance has noticed.
Cut to the chase. What's your plan?
Kick them out. I've amassed a fleet of merc ships. We're going to punch through enemy lines and invade. Once we're on Omega, it's a ground war. That's why I want you. I only accept the best. The leader of the Cerberus occupation is General Oleg Petrovsky.
Alright, so
He's
Cerberus
the one
has occupied Omega.
Ousted me.
Don't know him.
The elusive man's top military strategist and best kept secret. But all you really need to know is that he's a merciless bastard.
What's your intel on the occupation?
Petrovsky's army is massive and he's got Omega locked tight. The information stops there.
So you're winging it.
Not at all. There are secrets on Omega only I know. Secrets that will provide us a foothold. I can tell you this. Petrovsky's invasion was precise and ruthless. He'll stop at nothing to win.
Sounds familiar.
Shepard, I know my reputation. I know I'm hated. I ruled Omega with an iron fist. But the people were free. Their lives were theirs. I preserved that. This man took all that away, and he is going to pay.
Arya, I don't know that
It's mine again. I'll give you everything. I've got ships, mercs, Ezo, all yours for the war.
I don't know that I
What's the
think you
catch?
protest too much.
I have objections.
I think you
to
ruled
some
from
of
an
the
iron
companies.
fist and those people weren't
So
as
you'll have to leave
free
them
as you
and
say they
screw
were.
behind.
But
My crew are
Arya is
professionals.
not
Let's just say, I want you all to
one of the
myself.
more morally upright characters in the Mass Effect universe, I would say. Meanwhile, couple things coming up.
Gray
Well,
will
number one, do I
provide
think Red
coordinates
Dead
to
should
my
have beat
fleet.
Mass Effect 2 in our Game of the Year
Oh,
awards for,
still
what was that,
Citadel.
2008?
Please be discreet.
No, it wasn't 2008. It was 2010. I'm being silly. So 2010,
Signal when you're on your way.
I think that they're
Hurry
both
up.
worthy
On the
games.
command ship.
I do think that
Can't wait to see what all the
Red
fuss
Dead is
about.
amazing, but I never finished Red Dead. But overall, I think it's hard to choose. I will say this. Well, actually, I'm confusing it with a different year. I was confusing it with the year Demon Souls 1. Yeah, I mean, I don't know. It's like choosing two big, ambitious, really well executed games is hard. So I'm not the best person to say about Red Dead over Mass Effect because I finished one and I didn't finish the other. But I have absolutely no qualms. Let's see what Trainer's up to before I continue. I have absolutely no qualms with
Commander?
Red Dead winning. So, somebody saying they bought Spec Ops. Yay! I think that game is super and definitely one of my top 10 games this year. Not because as a game it's all that great, but because it's, but because it does something different and important in regards to what story can be in shooters. And it should be played, not because the game itself is all that special as a third-person cover shooter, but because it gives contextual insight into why you're doing what you're doing and the progression of the characters, and it has a lot to say about the state of modern shooters that I think should be heard. And asking my top 5 Game of the Year picks, my personal top 5.
We're outshipped 4-1, and most of our vessels are
This
transports
will be
with
fun. I've
limited
never seen
firepower.
Arya in
We're
action.
not here to win a space
Um,
battle, Jarl. We just have to punch through their line.
So you've
My
commandeered a Cerberus cruiser.
personal
The guest of
favorites
honor has arrived.
this
We can
year,
finally start.
like my personal top 5.
Yes.
My number one
Planning on
game
infiltrating the
this
enemy
year
fleet.
certainly is Journey.
Exactly. We position ourselves to strike a crippling blow. Then
I'd round that
my
list
forces
out.
join the fun.
Give me a second. Let me pay attention to what's going on in the story, and then I'll
A
answer.
lot could go wrong.
The assault's been planned for weeks, Shepard. For now, just sit back. Let me steer.
Not the best start to our partnership, Arya.
How things begin isn't nearly as important as how they end. Bray, move through the relay. Signal the fleet to wait. They only follow on my command. Head for the command ship.
Cruiser, I don't have you on the flight plan. Identify yourself.
This is Captain Lentz. Run voice recognition. Alpha Tango Z. We took damage. Seeking repairs.
Identity confirmed, Captain. Hold for approach authorization.
How did you get the captain to say that?
The hard way.
What?
That's right. Nice and slow.
The hard way?
Be patient. Get as close as you can.
Fire! Signal the fleet through the relay.
Well, certainly this DLC is cutscene heavy.
We're through.
On our way to
Straight from
Omega.
station.
We're being hailed by the General.
Should be interesting. Put him through.
On a station that looks very much like a jellyfish.
You'll never make it. Call it off now.
You're barking up the wrong tree, General. But maybe you can convince my partner.
Commander Shepard, I've heard great things about you.
My partner here doesn't have much to say for you.
She's not used to being defeated. It clouds her judgment. A pity you left, Cerberus. We all sabotage ourselves in nefarious ways. Perhaps deep down you fear success. And Arya clearly thinks seeing you will unsettle me. Now it's my turn. I see you've gone to the trouble of augmenting that ship with Solaris armoring. An exorbitant waste. I've made improvements to Omega's outer defenses. My cannons will cut through you at will.
He sounds pretty confident.
Yeah, he does.
So again, I say turn back.
Let's see what you've got, Oleg. End transmission.
It would be nice to have some space
That
combat,
will
some
help.
real space combat.
Set preset course. We're ramming the station. Everyone brace for impact.
I know it won't happen.
Omega's kinetic barrier will stop my ships from landing. I equipped this cruiser with disruptors to take it out on impact. Don't worry. We'll probably survive the crash.
Oh, great. Somebody asking what platform I'm playing on. This is 360, and I'm streaming via a Roxio GameCap
We can make
HD.
it.
Arya, don't be stupid. Sound the evac.
And eventually I'll go back to the question about my personal top 5 games. I'm just
There's no time.
trying to pay attention to what's going on.
Guess that asshole really did upgrade Omega's outer defenses.
So it would seem.
Don't worry, I'm gonna sacrifice all these people so that we can get our little shuttle in there. Pardon me. Hopefully I'll remember how to play the game. It's funny, I just played like a
Hope the
good
other escape pods made it.
20 hours of Mass Effect 3 on the Wii U.
All right, what's our target?
And the controls are
Need to hit
different
the defenses
a little
of the
bit.
station.
There's some
Shut
button
down Omega's
swapping.
outer defenses so my
So
ships-
hopefully I won't default
If
to
we
the
don't,
Wii U's
they'll be blown to
controls.
bits like we were.